Hello and welcome to the goal analysis of the Champions Cup game between Nokian KRP and Stovreta this weekend. We'll have the second game this Thursday, so let's see. Win for Nokian KRP, quite a tight win, but I think we can learn a lot from the goals, especially we see two very good teams, but yeah, there are some mistakes on the field and yeah, let's see. First goal for Nokian KRP, a little bit unlucky for Stovreta maybe, but I think there are two things we can learn from this goal. First thing, we see Rantalas very free here in the central position. He's almost able to score here. If the pass would have been a little bit better to his blade, he could shoot directly in front of the goal. Maybe, yeah, upper left corner could have been a goal. So next shot, three shots. Then Ulriksson gets the ball, a little bit too hasty. Wrong decision, passing to Kohonen and counterattack goal. So let's see. I think the first thing is here's like it's quite okay. Deep pass. First thing, Nemecek. Maybe he's not sure what to do in this kind of situation. Okay, a little bit lucky. He didn't get the ball on his forehand. But the main thing I would say is Newstead is playing like a man-on-man defense here. He's following his opponent like very deep in his half of the court. But Kohonen somehow is leaving Rantala completely unguarded. So I think this is the main problem in the first place here. It seems to be that there's some kind of miscommunication or misunderstanding in the Stovreta defense what to do in this kind of situation. So yeah, let's see. First thing, this is very dangerous situation, and then everything else is just a little bit messy. So I think not that interesting. Simply messy defense. Lucky to get the ball, and then yeah, why this kind of pass? So there's not much pressure on Ulriksson, even though both Nokian players are going behind the goal or to the goal, pressing a little bit. But he could have played to Nemecek easily. So Stovreta has a 4-3 advantage, or at least a 3-2 advantage here in the goal area. So why playing this pass? Of course, if there wouldn't have been any Nokian player here, Kohonen gets the ball, very good opportunity for counter-attack. But especially in this kind of situation where you don't have the 100% orientation and you're pressed behind your own goal, just play the safe pass if it's possible and yeah, start from there. So I'm not sure why he did it, but anyway, let's see the next goal. So two learnings, I would say: miscommunication, get clear what to do in your defense. If you do a man-on-man, everyone has to play the man-on-man. As we saw, Kohonen did not play the man-on-man, but I'm not sure if it was the concept of Stovreta here. So yeah, they have to know what to do. But anyway, two people did some different action. And the second thing, of course, here, don't be so hasty. But yeah, of course, mistakes can happen to everyone, even the best players. But this is, I think, the main thing of Floorball is the concentration. You have to always be concentrated very, very much. And if you do a mistake, yeah, you get the punishment very, very fast, very easy. This is a very interesting goal, I would say. Seems to be not that spectacular, except from the very good shot of Kohonen, of course. But in the next camera position, we can see a little bit better why I think it's an interesting goal. So we see box play of Nokian KRP here, 4 against 5, of course. And they are defending like 2 and 2, so they don't have this kind of system, which is quite usual in most of the teams, or most of the times, or at least in the past. Nearly everyone played it. Nowadays it's a little bit different, but anyway. So the idea of this kind of defending in the box is to prevent the shooters from the outside from shooting. So these two players are more or less in the shooting lane, and then they can attack a little bit easier because they can run towards the shooting position and already guarding passes and shootings in the middle of the field. So this is I think this is the concept behind this kind of box play. So what is left for the offensive team is mostly the shot from the middle, and this is what Koronen does here. Of course, you need to prevent the goalie from seeing the ball. So Weidmann is, I think, doing this very well, and here they already have a second player in the center. So this is one very good situation or chance to score the goal. So take the side of the goalie so he doesn't see the ball, and then you need to have a very good shooter on the point, and just shoot on the place where the goalie is not, or where it's free. You can even shoot like low shots. You don't have to shoot in the upper corner. Low shots might be even better. Very hard to see for the goalie. Maybe also harder to block for the defending players. Second thing is always have someone in the middle, not just in front of the goal, as Stovreta is doing, I think, very good here. Because if you cannot shoot from here, you can maybe play a pass. So it's very maybe not difficult, but of course the defending team has to decide who's taking the guy in the middle. Is it the defender, or is it maybe the offender here? So, but anyway, someone has to take him. So if he is maybe taking him, maybe the cross pass is a little bit more possible, or if you play a quick pass with the point. So always if your opponent is playing this kind of box, you have to attack like Stovreta does it here. So 2 on the sides, 1 on the point, 1 in the middle, 1 here, and take shots from there. Have a really good shooter there, and if this is like prevented by your opponent, play quick passes from the point. Changing the sides with the cross pass, or with the point, and try to shoot very fast then. Okay, so next goal. Very nice shot. So we see the goalie didn't see this shot coming, I would say. Was not really able to defend there. Next goal is a goal after free hit from Nokian KRP. Also very interesting what we see here. So this seems to be another example for misunderstanding in the defense play of Stovreta. So we see here like really tight man-on-man, of course. He's following his opponent very tight. Maybe not tight enough, we will see that later, but anyway. So here they are paired, we have a pair here, I think. It's a pair. And Weidmann is not really having one of the opponents somehow. Well, he had. We see it in this. It's a really fast situation. I think he had one opponent, but he's not following him. So I think it's not clear if they are doing a man-on-man in the free hit situation, like 100% the whole time until they get the ball, or the ball is in the half of the opponent's field there. So another example for be very clear what to do. So if like some players of your team are playing the man-on-man and someone is not, so there will always be a hole or someone free, like this guy. So he's not shooting the goal, I think, but then they have a like 2-1 situation here, because Weidmann is not guarding any player, and we see that Weidmann is not really effective in this situation. So of course he should have defended a little bit more tight. So I'm not sure if it's Ahola or it's Ahola. So Ahola is able to shoot. He should not be able to shoot with forehand in this situation. But anyway, so we see Weidmann is not guarding anyone, and we have a free player here. I think he's maybe shooting the goal in the next situation. Oh no, he's playing the pass to Rantola. But the main thing is we have a 3-2 or 3-2 or 3-1 situation here. So they are not able, of course, to defend everyone. And Weidmann, he's too far from one of the opponents to guard anyone. So it's a very fast situation, but you can learn definitely from that be clear in your defense what to do, man on man or zone or whatever. Everyone has to have the plan. So if Weidmann would have followed this player, I think there would have not been any goal in this situation. We will see that here because the other Stovreta player was already guarding the player who is passing here, so he could have done that anyway. The whole time Weidmann would be deep down, and I'm not sure if it's Langer who's left. He could have guarded Rantala for the whole time, so he would have been, yeah, we see this here, 2 players on 1 opponent, and now we have the cross pass and the problem, the 3-2 problem. Yeah, so next goal. What do we have? Another time the shot from Rantala. Okay, the messy goal against Nokian KRP. So yeah, messy situation, but I think the interesting part starts here. So you will very often have this kind of situation. Your opponent is attacking in your half of the court, and he maybe plays a back pass, so or is moving backward, and then it's a very crucial time. You have to put pressure on him and also be very clear what to do. I think the best thing is really go to man on man, because if you leave a spot or a free opponent here, especially if the ball is so near or so close to your goal, you will have a big disadvantage. If you put high pressure and go man on man until the ball is really far deep in your opponent's half of the court, I think you might get the biggest benefit of that. Or maybe you even get the ball. It can happen, of course. So let's see. Back pass here, and if every Nokian player would have stayed with his opponent, like here they are paired and Ahola stays with Nystedt here, I think, yeah, it's Ahola, and then this kind of goal wouldn't have happened. Of course, it's a little bit unlucky because the pass is, I think, deflected from the blade or the foot of one Nokian player, but anyway, we see here, okay, he's somehow quite free and able to pass, very sharp pass here. If Nokian player would have already stayed there or would have been a little bit closer, he wouldn't have been able to do that, and Ahola would have easily been able to put pressure on Nystedt here. Maybe not get the ball, but that's not necessary in this kind of situation. Just put pressure on your opponent, so he has to step a little bit back, maybe in his own half of the court, or playing a cross pass to be safe. Yeah, we can see this here. So just stay here, attack him, put a little bit pressure. I think Nystedt maybe would have played pass here, and then Eriksson would have gone in his own half of the court to get a little bit more space, or maybe Nystedt even would have turned and to get a little bit more space. So you don't have to get the ball, but put pressure on your opponent and stay at your opponent, especially in this kind of situation where your opponent is playing back passes right off this pressure situations here in front of your goal. And do the man-on-man, and I think then everything is quite safe. So we see the Nokian player could have stayed with Langer here, be paired. He would have been paired, Ahola to Nystedt. I don't know his name, but anyway, to Eriksson, and Rantala could have stayed here, and this guy in front of the goal also already has a opponent, I think, somehow, well, a little bit far, but anyway. So yeah, be clear again. Be clear in this kind of situation what to do. I would recommend man-on-man, pressing your opponent until the ball is out of your half of the court, a little bit more in the half of your opponent, and then you can go back to your normal maybe zone defense or something like that, and play from scratch somehow. Also, interesting thing, Nokian is defending mostly in this 1-2-2 situation here, so having 2 wings and 2, how to say, like middle players, defenders, and one player like behind, like libero or something like that. And again, so it's not clear what to do if you have this one guy in the middle. So if your opponent is playing the 1-2-2 defense system, of course the best thing is to have someone in the middle, because there's no center, and you have to, someone has to become the center, and it's always unclear who is it, or it takes a little bit time. So be clear what to do in this kind of situation. Of course, here you could have already been like paired like this, and Rantala is already in front of the goal, so this guy could have been the center here. But communication has to be very fast. We see it's a little bit too late. Already here, he could have gone a little bit upwards, maybe just 2 or 3 steps. Of course, he doesn't have to be like really close to Nystad, but a few steps, but he stays, I think, a little bit too long. And now we see, okay, Rantala take this guy in front of the goal, but why not just go in front? So we see it's quite too late. I think that's the first thing. You have to be clear what to do. If you play the 1-2-2, you can of course do that. There are some advantages, some disadvantages, as it's with every defense system. But be clear what to do. If there's someone in the middle, is always the guy like in far from the ball, you could say. I think it's a little bit cleverer or better if you do it like that, because we can see it here. Ball is going to this side, and he was already aiming for this pass, and you could say, okay, the guy far from the ball, it's the better decision going upwards to the middle, because if he does it, it doesn't make any sense. Of course, he's going away from Rantala would have needed to attack this player, and this player has to go there. Very far distances to run, not very clever. So the far guy should be the one taking the middle in this kind of system, and he has to do it very fast, of course. And the second thing is more an individual thing, but very interesting too. I think he's going into the block too early. Nystad is just receiving the ball. He's not even able to shoot directly in this position, and he's already down here. So of course there's not much space. But if he would have attacked Nystad like really hard here, not going into the block like now, just run to him and get his forehand, I think he would have the chance that the defender would have been successful would be a lot higher. I would recommend only go into the block if you see your opponent is just shooting. So if you really see he's now shooting, then go down, and until that, always stay up, because good players are always able to outrun you here. If you, of course, there's not much space, but you have a lot of situations. Maybe if an opponent is running from the corner somehow, he would always be able to outrun you. If you go into the block here, he would say, "Oh, okay, I'll just run a few steps more and then shoot to the goal." So just go into the block when your opponent is shooting, and not earlier from that. Or if you're a little bit, if the distance is more far, so if there's a cross pass maybe coming, you can see the cross pass, and this guy's like already doing the slap shot movement. Okay, and you're maybe, I don't know, 3 meters away or something like that. Okay, maybe you can do that because there's enough time. So if he receives the ball and is going for drag shot, so you can get up and try to defend whatever. But normally I would say only go into the block if someone's already shooting, not earlier, because the chance of disadvantage is higher than you get an advantage from that. But anyway, nice shot from Nystad. Very close, very tight situation. So again, here, interesting thing, I'm not sure what the concept of Stovreta is. You can see like Langer is clearly guarding this guy in the middle. So I think he's very sure about his task, what to do in this situation. But I'm not sure what is defending Sundstedt here. So there's no opponent here on the far post for a quick shot on the goal, like maybe chip pass here or short pass, and short shooting on the far post. So I'm not sure what he's doing, and we will have the cross pass here and then the shot and then the goal. So yeah, again, be clear what to do in what kind of situation, and talk about it maybe if you have a analysis after the game. There will always be similar situations in following games, so you can learn from that, I would say. So we see this. Sunset is not really guarding anything here. Even his far stick, he's not able to prevent any kind of pass on. I think he should know that. He's very experienced and very good player. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm just not sure what the concept is here. I would be very interested to learn from that. But yeah, you can see this might be not the best decision, and you should think about it, what to do. Maybe better next time. Yeah, very nice shot of Weidmann. I think this is the most common offense against the M or W pressing system. Maybe we get a second chance. Okay, it's a little bit too late. Okay, I have to get a little bit more back, I think, to see a little bit better what the problem might be. So yeah, we have this kind of M system, pressing or whatever. So, and the best thing is really to get like 4 guys here against the 3 guys of your opponent. So yeah, take the middle of the field, have one outside and the other on the other side. So the center really has to decide what to do, being here in the middle. And the real big problem is when you get the ball here, what can you do? Because if the center is going there, the wing player might be too late to prevent a back pass here in the middle. You can shoot and do whatever. So yeah, you have a really hard situation here. I think, of course, you can go man on man. So I think Nokian is trying to do that. So you can get 1 defender up. So you have like 4 players against 4 players here, and just pair them. But the other thing is this wing player can like defend really hard inside. So he's mainly preventing this kind of passes. You can do that, so you don't have to get your the other defender up. This is, I think, the only solution what you can do in this kind of situation when you have four opponent players in this in this kind of situation. Okay, this time this pass is not coming from here, but yeah, so both players would need to prevent this pass. So you cannot attack as the right wing player who is more in front. You cannot attack this guy too tightly, because it's quite easy to play this pass. You can even like just to make 2 steps. This guy's coming a little bit more upwards, and then he's running with the ball. So prevent the pass 100%, don't go. And if he's like on this side very far, then you can maybe attack against him with your teammate together and put a lot of pressure. But yeah, in the other situation, I would say don't go too near, just prevent 100%, try to prevent the pass. And here we see the big problem, changing like opponent. Okay, you have very far distance to run. Of course, he's not early enough at Weidmann to prevent the shot. So yeah, again, be clear what to do in this kind of situations. I think there are many ways what you can do, but you really have to have a good concept. And yeah. So next goal, it's the counterattack of Kohonen, or well, counterattack, but just simply hard shot, very good shot, of course. I think only thing we can learn from that is don't be hasty in situations where you don't have to be. So the Nokian player, yeah, of course, if this pass is possible, it's nice pass, of course, but why don't just play back pass and sharp pass here maybe? And you can see they are still trying to move forward. So don't attack if your teammates are not on their position maybe, or not ready to receive the ball. Just take a little time, few seconds, play one pass back here to this guy maybe, and then you can start your attack if everyone's ready. Yeah, a little bit unlucky of course, but again, concentration. So I think they both got a goal. Ulriksson was not concentrated 100% as he played this pass, and I think the pass of the Nokian player is somehow the same category. Also, goalkeeper wasn't expecting the shot, I think. Was a little bit surprised. Oh, he's shooting. This is also very interesting. You could say, oh, okay, nice pass, just behind the wing player to Eriksson. But the main problem is here, we don't have someone deep. So Eriksson is not able to pass to anyone safely. So of course, maybe this would have been the best option if played very fast, but still very risky. If someone just steps in or the pass is not 100% perfect, you get counter-attack immediately. So don't attack, just don't play the ball into your opponent's half of the court if you don't have someone like very deep down, because this is, I think, the best example. If you receive the ball here, okay, it's nice, but you will get attacked by one player of your opponent at least. Maybe the defender or maybe the center, depends on the system. So there's only one option what you can do if there's no one deep. You can only go the one-on-one. Of course you can be successful, but as we see, it's very dangerous, because if you don't succeed, you will have a counter-attack, and you will have a counter-attack from a position where the ball is already quite far to your, or quite near to your half of the court, and you will always maybe have the disadvantage. You will have maybe a 3-on-2 counter-attack, or maybe or also 3-on-1 or 2-on-1, whatever. So just don't attack, don't start attacking if there's no one deep, because if there was someone deep in the front of the goal, he could have just stepped out into the corner. Eriksson would have played the ball. Of course, he also gets pressure, of course, but he would have been able to play the ball. And if you lose the ball in the corner of your the half of the court of your opponent, it's not that dangerous to get counterattacks. So, yeah, I think this is the biggest learning from this kind of situation. We see this here, and then you have the counterattack. Good movement of Ahola, good shot, very fast. So I would say this mainly wasn't the biggest mistake from Eriksson. Of course, the better decision of him, let's see. The better decision of him, I would say, would have been playing a back pass. So just analyze the situation. Oh, I cannot play further with the ball. There's no one in the corner to play the ball. Cross pass maybe very different, dangerous, and okay, also no one in the middle. Okay, just turn around, play a back pass. Somehow you will always be able to play a back pass, this or whatever, chip pass. Nothing special, just out of this kind of situation, and then start again. And then, yeah, the chance of this kind of goals might decrease rapidly, hopefully. Okay, one more goal to go, I think. Yeah, it's the 5-5, then we have the 6-5. And again, very interesting, another free hit situation, another goal for Nokian. And yeah, we see already man on man, Nysted's already following his opponent very tight. Let's see again here, they are starting to move, Nokian players, and then starting, yeah, following very tight. So we have to assume the concept of Stovreta is man on man defense in the free hit situations. So I would say, okay, a little bit dangerous, but anyway, here there's not much of a problem. But then Konen somehow again, it's the same kind of thing as at the first goal, is leaving his opponent like crazy. I don't know why. So we have a Wait. Ah. Ah, so we have a 3-2 advantage of Nokian in front of the Stovreta goal, and yeah, a little bit lucky this kind of pass, but anyway, free shot in front of the goal, and yeah, what did Kohonen do here? I'm not sure. Of course, I cannot read anyone's mind, but there seems to be a little bit misunderstanding in the defense concept here. I'm not sure what the idea is of that. So of course, if you play the man-on-man, you have to follow the man-on-man like 100%, and everyone has to do it, because otherwise there will be some free players and they will take the shot at one moment of the game. So yeah, Stovreta lost this first match, quite tight, but anyway, they lost. So let's see what the second game in Sweden this Thursday will look like. I'm very interested what the outcome will be.